Alright, so this is the start of a new project I'm doing. Gonna be making a new insert with two motors. One's gonna be a like 1.5 horsepower outboard, and the other's gonna be, I think, the 30-pound Minn Kota that I have. So yeah, I wanted to go a little faster on the water, and I think this is the solution. How I started here was again tracing out the insert. I already have an insert, so I was able to just put this over here and then trace it all the way around. You know, if you don't have an insert to copy like I do, what you can do is use cardboard to cut out the shape of the insert, and then you can verify that it fits the insert before you actually, you know, draw it onto your cutting board and start drilling. The reason I'm drilling first is because it makes it easier on the saw. If you try to just cut through this, this is a 1-inch cutting board, and you know, it's really thick, so you can't really cut through it with the Sawzall. So yeah, it helps to drill the holes along the line first, and then you use the saw to cut it, and then file it down to get it smooth on the edges. Although I didn't get it super smooth the last time around, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, stay tuned. Alright, so after we're done drilling the holes, we get to cut. Alright, so the insert's complete. Got it all cut out. It's still rough around the edges, but I'm going to fix that right now with just a regular file. And yeah, that should leave it pretty smooth, or smooth enough. And yeah. Alright, so I've done filing it a bit. This is pretty much as smooth as I care to get it. It's just extra work that really isn't necessary. If I had a sander, like an extra gritty sander, maybe I would use that. But no, I think this is fine. And last little tip here, to get all these little fuzzy parts that are hanging off, to get them off, what you can do is actually take a torch to it. And yeah, since this is HDPE, or yeah, that's the material, which is like the same stuff they make buckets out of. Yeah, you're able to melt this, and it should be all right. So yeah, I just melt off all those little fuzzy parts, and that'll pretty much do it. All right, so there we are. I ended up having to trim this part a little bit more. Still gotta refire all the fuzzies again, but check this out. It fits pretty snug now. That way it locks pretty well, but there it is. Next step is going to be drilling a hole for the shaft of the outboard, and then another hole for the shaft of the trolling motor. But yeah, I'm excited for this build. I am going to be using a Sea-Dog 1.5 trolling motor. I went with that one over like an actual like Honda outboard, which is what I wanted. I wanted to get the 2 horsepower Honda outboard, but as you know, a lot of those outboards have like a huge motor head, and also the shaft isn't quite easy to like install into a plate like this. I think I would have to bow mount, which is a whole nother headache because I have a rudder in the back and so on. So the cool thing about the Sea-Dog 1.5 horsepower outboard motor is that it has a circular shaft. So I think it's around the same size as a trolling motor, which is going to be perfect because you know, I already had a similar build with a shaft of that diameter. So I think yeah, it was probably the better choice. It was a lot cheaper than, you know, like a $900 2 horsepower outboard. I do plan on possibly swapping out the motor head for Honda 50cc. It's called a GX50. It's just, you know, to have a more reliable motor. But first I want to see how the build comes out with just the Chinese motor. And yeah, if I like it, if I think it's doable to have like 2 motors on at once, then I will go ahead and upgrade to a Honda 50cc, which would put it at a 2 horsepower motor. So yeah, stay tuned. Step 1 done.